confirm if you're still interested for this.
Well, yeah, I just did it yesterday. But I was asking you if you speak English just because sometimes I'm on phone conversations where I say something and then the response is like it's almost like it's been ignored, what I just said, like a
Oh,
question. So I'm just going to say, please ask me if there's anything that you didn't hear properly, and I'll repeat it. But I don't want to repeat just because somebody doesn't want to answer a question. So first, I just want to say there's, the strike. One is that I did get to know about you guys from Facebook. So right away, that means. Yeah, you get your first strike. I mean, I'm willing to continue to hear what you have to say. The other thing is, I was at the library yesterday, when you called right
yeah.
away, pretty quickly after I kind of sent my information, and then there was another phone call right after. I didn't answer, but I was still at the library, so I don't know if you left a voicemail, but it was maybe not understanding the concept. I didn't want to be on the phone right now, so you're a little bit late for the appointment for today, but I'm willing to hear what you have to say.
No worries, totally understand this, Martin. So, here's the thing, Martin. Actually, we're calling you because we just wanted to confirm if you're still interested in studying Australia, and if you're still interested, we can assign you to one of our counselor regarding this. So, for Australia, we can support curriculum, credentials, which is bachelor's, master's, and PhD program.
Yeah, so I'm interested in a doctorate, and you're with IDP Canada, and it is that you can help people get into programs that are in either Canada, Australia, um, the UK, and Ireland. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. But we can only handle PhD program in Australia.
Oh, okay. How come you're calling me and that you have those limits?
Regarding that, because in those countries, it's really hard to they call it secure slot for the PhD program, so we can only do that for Australia. And also, there is some we need to do if you're planning to study in for PhD program in Australia. So first, you need to prepare for your own research plan, and you need to also identify a potential supervisor.
Yeah, so that's the way usually PhD programs work. They kind of hope that you'll make contact first before you apply with some supervisor. Which of the countries are you in? Are you in Australia yourself?
No, we're in Canada, but we can support here inside Canada, Australia, UK, and Ireland.
But for the doctorate, you can only support for Australia.
Yes, that is correct.
Which city in Canada are you in?
We're currently located in Toronto.
Okay. Okay. In what way do you help people, do things that maybe they can't do on their own, or they would be harder if they did it on their own?
Regarding that, our counselor will going to check regarding the schools, the program, and the requirements for that specific program that you're looking for in that specific country, and they will going to be the one who will going to apply it for you, and they will also going to help you regarding securing the study permit for those countries.
Securing what?
Study permit on those countries.
Okay. Well, okay. So for me, it's only doctorate, and we're only talking about Australia. So still, your answer is not clear what you can do for me that I can't do for myself, and also, is there a fee for that, and how do you justify that fee?
Regarding that, here in our end, it's a free counseling and free admission process. What you need to prepare is the tuition fee in the country that you've selected.
What I need to prepare is my tuition fee.
Tuition fee. Yes, that is correct.
Okay, so I don't know if you're realizing it, but I'm going to ask the same question a third time. So, why should I deal with you? What can you do for me that I can't do for myself? And who pays for your services?
Regarding regarding paying for our services, and we cannot you can also confirm that to our counselors. I'm not a counselor myself. If you want to speak to a counselor, we can do some. I can ask you some details, and then we can book you to our counselors, and they can further discuss what we can do for you, Martin. But what we can assure you, our counselor can secure a slot, submit the application for the specific school that you're going to choose.
Okay, so for example, if I already took screenshots of Australian university doctorates that I'm interested in, I could contact them and they would say, "Oh yes, we know this organization you work for, and we work with them all the time, and they will help you." They will actually refer me to you if I talk about you, those universities?
Yes, Martin. Actually, some universities will also going to suggest to reach out to us or to partner with us if you're interested to study in those countries.
Is it because they want you guys to help with the study visas because they don't do that?
Regarding that, again, if you need further explanation and how we can assist you, we can assign you to one of our counselor, Martin.
So, what is the purpose of your call this morning?
We're calling if you're so interested so that we can proceed and book you to one of our counselor. That is the reason why we're calling Martin, so that we can proceed you to the next step if you're so interested.
But yesterday is the day I made an appointment, right? And we made it for 9 o'clock, and it's past 9:30 now, and so I'm just wondering why you're not a counselor, because if there are a lot of steps like this, I still don't understand, the service you provide.
We truly understand it, Martin. My colleague contacted you yesterday, but it's also not a counselor. So we're asking the reason why we're the one or the first step regarding this, because some students also don't qualify because there's some specific visas that we can assist in studying in those countries. That's why we're also calling first to confirm regarding this if you're qualified for us to proceed you in booking an appointment to one of our counselors. So it's only two steps from us, and then next is the counselor.
Okay, so you're checking to see if I have the prerequisites, let's say, to apply for a program before passing me on to a counselor.
It's not really a requisite because regarding the specific programs, regarding the requirements for the programs, it will be discussed by the counselor. So what we're asking is, what are you currently a Canadian citizen, a PR? Because you cannot assist visitor visa also in those countries, Martin. That is the reason why we're also calling.
Yeah, I'm not sure the last thing you said. So how can you help me with a visa in a way that I can't help myself?
Regarding that, our counselor has the information, Martin. So if you're interested, we can proceed and book an appointment to one of our counselor if you want.
What I worry about is when I talk to what you call a counselor, and for me, it has to be that person. If they have the word counselor, they have to be quite high in their level of professional competence. But if I talk to them and their answers are very vague like yours are, then, I almost want to bill you my time and send it to your address in Toronto for wasting my time. So do you want to take that risk if you transfer me to a counselor?
Yes, because they're all really qualified, Martin. You can also check the counselor's names in our website if you want, Martin. So here in our end, we cannot, here in our end, because I'm not a counselor, that's why I cannot give you the specific details regarding the requirements of the specific school on how people will going to process the applications, since I'm not a counselor myself.
Yeah, you were breaking up a little
You
bit
can
here. Pardon?
If you want also, Martin, you could also check our counselor's name in our website. You can also check our website. That's why you can confirm that if I'm going to assign you that specific counselor, it is that counselor is still qualified under Martin.
Okay, so I don't know what they're qualified for that I'm not qualified for, and I don't know, like, what I am interested in is finding a university that when they receive, examples of my work, they will decide to, give me full scholarship for the doctorate. And sometimes that's in exchange for helping one of their professors with their own research, but I still want to do my own research on my own topics. So these two are my priorities. So if you have a counselor who will help me find a university that will give me full scholarship, and also one that might put me to work, but that won't try to get me to do only their research, but also my research, then yes, you could have that counselor call me back, confirm this, and then I'll make an appointment with them that would be longer later.
Regarding that, Martin, so I need to ask you some details first before we can book you an appointment to one of our counselor. And I just wanted to set a proper expectation with you regarding the scholarship. So it really depends on the criteria on the eligibility of that specific school. But IDP itself do not offer any financial or scholarship assistance. But yes, our counselor can try to look for a school that offers the scholarship. But it still depends, and if we will also going to check it will be fully funded or not also, Martin. But before we can also proceed you to one of our counselor, I need to ask the qualification questions first before we can book you an appointment if you want.
Yeah, you can ask me. I'm curious to see what they are, but so far you haven't given me any reasons really to keep interacting with you, but go ahead and ask those questions.
So first, I just wanted to confirm, Martin, that this admission is for yourself.
Yes.
And are you Canadian citizen or a PR?
Yeah, I'm Canadian citizen, yeah.
And also, just wanted to confirm your current location right now.
I'm in British Columbia.
We're in BC right now. Are you in Vancouver or which BC?
Oh, I don't think you know that. I don't think you need that information. It's not, it's not relevant.
Because we're going to align the time to your time zone once we book an appointment. That's why we're asking only the city and the province, not your full address.
My time zone is Pacific, same as Vancouver.
And have you worked with any counselor from IDP Canada before?
No.
And are you currently studying right now?
If I'm what?
Are you currently studying right now?
With a school? No.
But what is the most recent credential that you completed?
What is the choices you have for my response?
If you take any, what is the most recent credential that you completed? Like you recently completed a diploma, like that, the most recent one that you completed?
It's a graduate diploma. So it's a second cycle diploma.
What is the name of the program?
Oh, yeah, you don't need to know that.
If you want, Martin, if you're not comfortable in answering these questions by a phone call, I can send you an email so that you can fill it out yourself so that we can book you an appointment if you want.
How many more questions?
Because I'm also going to apply regarding, have you already applied to any universities in Australia? What program are you looking for? What is the name of the program? When do you plan to start the program? And if you're comfortable with the specific budget for the tuition fee in Australia, and how do you plan to fund your studies?
I plan to fund my studies in the way that I've already told you, with a university that would give me full scholarship. The categories could be sociology, anthropology, psychology, or education, maybe counseling, and yes, at the doctorate level. My experience so far involves a little bit of all of these. My graduate diploma was focusing on the concept of sustainability, but I don't want to go into that topic at a PhD level.
And can you answer regarding what is the program that you recently completed, Martin? Because our counselor also needed that information.
What's the question about that program that's specific?
What is the name of the program that you recently completed regarding the graduate program?
It's called MASLM, MA-SLM.
Okay.
When the diploma was given to me in July 2018.
And have you already applied to any universities in Australia, or did you already receive an offer letter already?
I have not applied to any programs outside of Canada, and the ones I applied in Canada, like for example, I sent a letter with a certified check to a university in British Columbia where they have 10 different programs I'm interested in. So I explained in the letter that I'm not going to spend money on 10 different application fees, that their graduate school can pass on my information to the 10 different PhDs, and if one of them is interested in me, they can cash in that certified check. So it's not through their official way to apply, because I find that abusive. Most universities I've documented can barely answer question when you reach them. They seem to have developmental disabilities, so you don't want to send money to them and just increase their systemic issues. So I sent that and I documented that, and I even tried to get an answer from that university this week to say what's going on with that letter and certified check I sent, and I didn't get an answer yet. So for me to apply for any universities around the world in the last few years is I first need to find somebody that is competent there, and I haven't succeeded in doing that. And of course I'm not impressed by you guys at this point either, so I may never go for a PhD because I kind of want to know that I'll be the student, not the teacher, right? I have to find people that I find competent enough to be able to, interact with me in a way that I can learn. They could be my role models or mentors.
And when do you plan to start the program in Australia, Martin? Because there are two intakes in Australia, which is February and July.
Yeah, I'm flexible. If I find the right match, I'm flexible about when to start, really quickly or, waiting. But, that question you just asked after I expressed some pretty important things was kind of weird, right? It made it seem like what I had to say was not important to you.
So sorry for that, Martin, if for asking that question, because our counselor, regarding the programs that you mentioned that you're interested to take in Australia, our counselor will going to look who offer that slot for that specific intake. That's why we're asking when do you plan to start the program for our counselor to check the slots available, Martin, on those schools or
So,
universities.
so what I just did was I said that it was insensitive what you did, and then you kind of did it again. So yeah, again, it's, you're pretty much getting your third strike already. You can have a counselor contact me, but tell them that it has to be a counselor who is comfortable being recorded for quality assurance and accountability, and for the sake of, improving and learning at your services.
Yes, Martin. I only done with two questions, Martin. We just still want to proceed because before booking an appointment, I need to finish these two questions.
Okay.
Regarding the tuition fee in this country, so the tuition fee is around 33,000 to 50,000 Canadian dollars per year. I know that you're looking for a school that offers the scholarship, but it still depends on the criteria and eligibility of those schools. So are you comfortable with this, Martin?
So what you're asking me is if I'm comfortable joining a program that is probably incompetent until we prove it otherwise, and to waste that amount of money per year to relocate my life. So shouldn't you already know that, a person that is not insane is not comfortable with the scenario you're presenting? Like I'm not like a rich parent who wants to put their dumb child through a university program and I'm willing to pay anything for it. So that's not who I am. So that's probably not a good description of something I'd be comfortable with, and I'd be wary of anybody comfortable with that. What's your last question?
How do you plan to fund your studies in Australia, Martin?
By
Because I'm sorry, go ahead.
by giving back So whatever they give me, I will give back of myself and my own specialties. Because I could, for example, teach undergraduate courses, I could coach their badminton team, I could tutor some of their other students, I could assist them in some of their research. And when you do all of that, you you expect not to be paid, you also expect not to be charged.
We appreciate regarding the mention on how do you plan to fund your studies, Martin. But we just wanted to confirm just in case regarding if you're going to plan to fund your studies via the scholarship they mentioned or regarding the savings like that, Martin. And we also wanted to confirm if you mentioned if you're comfortable with the tuition fee that I've mentioned to you because again that is the range amount of the tuition fee in the program that you're looking for.
Well, I looked at some of the tuition fees in Australia when I went on your website yesterday and did a search with doctorates, and none of them were that expensive. So I don't know what else you're including as a fee with tuition, but you shouldn't call it tuition fee and be it that high because then you're kind of charging three times the fee of tuition, and then you're not explaining what the other rest of the money is covering.
If you're not comfortable with that, Morgan, I believe we cannot proceed with this.
Wait a
You can
minute. Wait a
try.
minute. Wait a minute. I asked you a very important question is why you guys are tripling the cost of the fees from the websites of these universities and you're asking me if I'm comfortable being robbed, and if I'm not comfortable being robbed and you don't answer why I should be robbed, then yes, I think maybe I should kind of contact Facebook and say don't advertise them anymore, right?
Because it's for an international student, Morgan. So once you apply as an international student in those countries, that is the range amount of the tuition fee regarding the program that you're looking for.
Yeah, so I'm not going to charge them three times more for my services, so they shouldn't do that either. So again, unless a counselor can actually contact a real higher education institution and say, we've got somebody here who, after you learn who I am, because I would send this counselor my information of my work, then if you can't advocate for me in that way, I don't know that you provide any kind of services that, are beneficial to me. So are you comfortable offering me services that are helpful to me, or you're only comfortable in offering me services that are not beneficial to me?
We're offering you the services that based on your preference, Martin. That's why we're also asking this question so that our counselor can further discuss these things, especially the preference that we have, Martin, so that we can find a school that you want, Martin, based on your preference.
Did you say what your name was at the beginning? Because if so, I'm sorry, I didn't remember.
Yes, Martin. So would you like to proceed with this, Martin?
Your name is Yes?
No, my name is Imari.
E. Marie?
Yes.
So it's Emory?
No, it's Imari.
Can you spell it? Just the first name?
Can I ask the reason why?
Do you have my name? You have my full name, right? I'm surprised she lasted that long, but you can see the kind of scams, right? And a lot of them include people from the Philippines.